Thanks a lot for coming in.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
Something about this community appeals to you?
This is a wonderful place to live.
For Kelowna Now, this is Kent Mulgat. And we're joined by Dustin Jocelyn, the manager at BDO, with a little bit of Christmas advice.
Yes, thank you, Ken.
So what would an accounting firm be able to, tell us about Christmas? Is this a worrying time for you guys in terms of debt?
It's always a worrying time. I mean, Christmas it's a time that people overspend, and that's what we're trying to avoid in this case, is helping people to avoid that trap of pulling out too many credit cards over the holiday season and actually enjoying the time,
right,
rather than spending time at the mall and panicking and trying to find that perfect gift.
Right. Okay, but we've all got that Christmas list, right? So it's to buy gifts for all these people. Yeah. How do you get away from that part of it, first of all?
Well, with the list, it's great to have that list, but the Christmas Carol, Santa Claus is coming to town, the one line, he's making a list and checking it twice, that's what we need to do with our Christmas lists, is have the list but check it twice. What do people actually need off that list rather than just buying everything?
Right. And then there's a lot of activities that can also rack up that Christmas time spending.
Yeah.
We're cooking special food at home if we do cook, and then we're also, there's events that we might want to go to.
There's entertaining, there's hosting, there's bringing bottles of wine, and all of those added things that come with Christmas.
So one of the things I saw in the email you put out was plan ahead.
Right.
So you could look at Christmas and or these weeks around Christmas and say, what do we truly want to do?
Exactly. Yeah. It's basically creating a budget of what does the holiday season look like. So it's not just putting the gifts on there, but thinking about how much the food will cost, the decorations, the entertaining.
Yeah.
Just planning for all those things ahead of time it will help kind of save some money.
But along the way, we're going to sort of go on social media, and what is that, FOMO?
Right, the fear of missing out, yeah.
Everyone else is at the grand ball, and we're just at, at home right now. So there's going to be, there's going to be all sorts of things trying to pull us off that plan.
There's that pressure that you have to go out there and spend money because everybody else is. Well, and that's the hard part, is avoiding that, but still getting together with family and friends, because that really is the most important part about Christmas, is spending time with family. It's not the sending of gifts or giving of money or anything like that.
Right. So Christmas can be sort of a crisis point for really an underlying problem, because there are some numbers in terms of Canadians that are living the way they shouldn't be, and that is paycheck to paycheck. How common is it for people to have really no buffer?
It's very common. About 52% of Canadians are living paycheck to paycheck at this point, and there's about 3/4 of Canadians that are carrying personal debt. So it is a huge issue right now where people just don't have the buffer, the emergency fund to cover something that might come up in the short term.
And we talked earlier that there are some cliches that are probably true. Some of the best things in life are free. I mean, going for a walk on a snowy night, singing some carols, you don't have to pay money for that.
No, you don't. And living in Kelowna, we've got probably the best place to go. Go down by the boardwalk, walk around the lake during the winter. Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything to do that. And it's really the thought that counts. So spending time
there's
with
another
people.
cliche,
Exactly.
But a true one?
Yeah.
You had a nice little story about someone that you knew personally, who had developed a pattern of gifts for his grandkids every year. Tell me that little tale.
So an individual met with, it's been a couple years now, but it's a story that I'll never forget. So every year he would send the grandkids money in the card for Christmas, and he would get the typical response of, "Oh, thanks a lot, Grandpa. That was fantastic."
Yeah.
He then ran into some financial difficulty that BDO ended up helping him with, and had a conversation with him right after the holiday season. And what he did is, instead of sending money that year, he sent a letter off to his grandkids just highlighting all of his kind of memories that he had with them. So the trips that they took, or the outings, the picking berries, whatever it might be. And he said that the response he got from that letter was the best one that he'd ever received. They talked to him, they loved it. It was just, it meant more to them than receiving cash in the mail.
Right. You know, we hear this kind of advice every year, but we seem to need it because it's quite a reality, isn't it? I mean, in January, regardless the fact that we're doing this interview, it will happen.
It will happen. Yeah, unfortunately, people will overspend. If you've got more than one credit card, you pull them both out, and yeah, that's where it's a problem.
And that is the worst kind of debt. What credit card companies charge us?
Yeah.
It is out of control.
Yeah.
And if you start carrying that forward, it is just a drain.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, do you think anybody is going to listen? Are we getting any smarter with this, or is it just a cry you put out every year and you hope a few people hear it?
I hope people understand and they do take some advice about getting out there, doing something for free, going for a walk, hosting a potluck. I mean, even that would be better than giving gifts to friends. So, if somebody can take that first step in a group of friends that say, you know what, can we just kind of buck this trend where instead of everybody giving a gift, why don't we just host a potluck where everybody brings something, we spend some time together, because it's not just the one friend that's going through a financial crisis, it's probably more than one, and it's going to take that one to step up and say, okay, we can't do this anymore because it's just not affordable.
Right. So, I mean, you're an established guy. You're the manager at BDO. You probably don't even need to worry about this stuff anymore. Or do you actually employ some of these ideas?
I do have a budget for Christmas, yes. Yeah. And
you stick to it?
I stick to it the best I can, yes.
Right.
But if I do go over budget, I do have a plan in place to pay that down within a month or two.
Right. Well, we'll check with you in January and see how well you did.
Absolutely, yeah.
Dustin Jocelyn from BDO. Thanks very much for coming in, and thank you for watching Kelowna Now.